What is up, YouTube? We are going to jump right into it. We're getting down to another guide. The guide that hit top last night was actually the second place from the night before, Bastet. I don't know if I've ever done a guide on Bastet, so this is going to be new and exciting and fun. And I don't like playing Bastet in Conquest, but it's still pretty straightforward. The God's playstyle is ability-based, in and out, poking. You don't really have to full commit too much because you have a leap back. You just have to not waste your leap to not get caught. Straightforward. We'll go right into abilities like we have been. You're going to level your 2 first. It's going to be your best for clearing in general. You're going to level your 1 for safety. The reason you're leveling the 1 is simply because you can get in and do damage when you need to and get out. Or if you're being out pressured, you can use it to run away when you need to. I then level the 3 third to have the 3rd ability first. Max the 2 before anything, and then I'm maxing the 3 after. The 3 is really, really strong. If you don't know what the 3 does, it's a slow that does damage and has really high scaling. All of your abilities have very high scaling. Your 2 takes 4 times. Is it 4 or 5 times? Yeah, it's 4 times. 4 times. So it is 80% scaling. Your 1's got 100% scaling. Your 3 has 100% scaling, and your cats have whatever the fuck damage. They die pretty quickly anyway. So your cats are probably your least important thing to me, at least. Like I said, I max the 3 next, go all the way up, max the 1 next, all the way up, then the ult all the way up. Doing this, you get the most ability damage possible. You get a lot of instant damage. The reason I do not level this first, even though it has higher base damage, is because it's not as spammable. Mid to late game, you can't be jumping in. After like level 10, you can't just jump in and try to do damage all the time. You need to be throwing your 3 out and 2 and poking, and then you use your 1 to catch up, use your 1 to reinitiate, use your 1 to escape. It's not the initiator all the time. It's not just like, all right, I'm going right into the middle of a team fight with a sleep. You can't. You'll get punished very heavily for that. And like I said, the 3 is something you spam. That's why I level it second, because it's going to actually end up doing a shit ton of damage when you're just throwing 2s and 3s out over and over and over again. It hit really fucking hard. Item-wise, starter items, straightforward. You're going Bumbas and you're going Bluestone. Bumbas, Bluestone. Extra damage on Bluestone, you get the extra mana you need, you get extra power. You're not an auto-attack god, you're an ability-based god. The Bluestone makes sense. Bumbas, obvious choice. I go 2 health, 2 mana, or sorry, 2 health and 2 multi-pots. I like multi-pots, that's just how I roll. I like to do a little bit of poking early, try to get an advantage off of having those pots and other people not using them properly. So that's what I do. So now the core build is going to be Warrior into pretty much the old school full ability based power pen, like straight up, except for you add in Shifter Shield. So you're on Jotuns, you got CDR, and you have penetration. Very, very straightforward. You're then going Shifter Shield because it gives you so much fucking power. Plus the passive is really nice. The little bit of defense helps when you are initiating, getting poked a little bit, but usually you're getting this just for the raw power. After that, you are picking up, this is where you can go either which way. I go Brawlers. I'm going to end up getting all of these items, just as a heads up. I'm getting all of these items. You can go Brawlers next. If there's any healing on the other team, I haven't been mentioning this lately, on Assassins, if you're ability based, and they have any healing on the other team, you can go Brawlers first. You can move the whole build, you just shift it. You put Brawlers here, then you shift the whole build forward, and then you start building Jotuns, Shifters, blah, blah, blah. You do this so you have the anti-heal to kill people so they can't heal through your shit. If every team has bracers, grab Brawlers first. It does a lot of work, and you're it's a good item. Brawlers gives you 40 power, 15 pen. The passive is the thing that you're getting it for. Granted, the stats are very good. So just remember that. Bracers on the other team, lots of bracers. Get a Brawlers, make up for it. It's okay not having the CDR early. You'll get away with it. You'll get those extra kills that you wouldn't otherwise. Next up, as I said, we're going pretty much a full ability-based build. So we're getting Crusher next. Straightforward. You know what Crusher does. The passive is really good on Bastet because you're using your full kit and then auto-attacking usually. So it's going to wipe 1 second off of all of those, which is awesome. Fucking great. Especially when you're running CDR and you're just such a high-power build. You finish the build with Titan's Beam. Granted, I understand this is a lot of pen. It's just really, really strong. You get you're getting true damage, raw damage on all the mages, all the hunters, most of the other assassins. The warriors are still going to get chunked with this. You're going to kill pretty much everybody as long as you make it to a decent part of the game. Do not fall behind on Bastet. The game will get very rough if you allow that to happen. Once again, the build can shift around a little bit as you need. I would drop out the Crusher for any item I'm swapping in. I really like my Magi's Blessing, so Magi's Blessing is something you can throw in there. If you're just looking for more defense, like raw, true defense, you can do that. If you need a Wing Blade, you can put in Wing Blade in there. You can swap whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be in this order. You can get Magi's here, and then put Titan's Bane after. You could get Wing Blade, something after. You could go Shifters into a defensive item, into Brawlers, Titans, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty much however you want. Your core items are essentially these four, not even these four, these three, in my opinion, and then a Titan's Bane at some point late game. You'll get away, you'll be okay with that. But having penetration makes killing anyone building defense a hell of a lot easier for you. And it makes way more sense. It's way more consistent and something you want to do. Now, Relics, I've been going over Relics lately. Beads are pretty much a must on Bastet, simply because you need to be able to get the fuck out. Your other active really switches back and forth. Bracer is pretty much the most broken active right now. Straight up. It was Sunder got nerfed, now Bracer is super OP, makes it really hard to kill people. Upgraded Bracer is sick. The item is very, very, very strong. If the other team has no CC, no hard CC, grab a Bracer before beads. If they have CC, get beads, and then get Bracer at level 12. If for some reason Bracer's just not going to work, they have a ton of anti-heal, or you're worried about anti-heal, or you're just worried about getting bursted more than you can heal up with that, you can go ahead and grab an Aegis. Straightforward, easy peasy, whatever you want. If you're trolling, get a Blink. But realistically, Aegis, Bracer are going to be your other actives. Beads are going to be in your build almost all the time. Always has been like that. Probably always will be like that. But I really hope they nerf Bracer into the ground. Matchups, Bastet dumpsters almost all the mages. You're really good at chasing down all the mages. Any mages with low mobility, you are going to destroy. You can fucking destroy a Ra. You got to watch out for the gods that do have slow immunities. So Culkin can be kind of hard to sit on from range, but if you can get on top of a Culkin, it's very easy to kill Culkin. All the gods should be fairly easy. Souls 3 can be annoying because once Souls goes into the immunity, she's essentially not on the map, so the cats will stop following. The cats just chill there, so they won't chase Soul forever. You'll do great against all the mages. You shouldn't have too many issues. Anytime you see a Thoth in the game and he dashes, kill him. Vulcan's easy to kill. Like I said, all the low mobility mages, super easy to kill. You can kill Scyllas when the dashes are down. You can kill just about anybody. Just understand that. Guardians, you won't have too much trouble against any of the Guardians. You won't have too easy of a time either. It's a Guardian. It's going to be a tanky Guardian until you have almost full build. You're not going to chunk unless you get to snowballing. Straight up. Same with Warriors. All the Warriors are going to be pretty much the same. The lower mobility ones, easier to kill. They're going to build Wingblade though, so it's not going to be that easy to kill the Warriors. You're just going to be looking to poke, get them low, and then go back in once your abilities come back up a second time. All the Assassins, your matchups are fine. It's just, once again, that early game issue. You're playing a god with no hard CC. You have a slow, that's it. You do have a lot of ability damage, but you need to get out of that early game to get your ability damage up, and that's where you're going to struggle against most of the Assassins that are played. They're going to start invading your buffs. It's the same as when you play any of these Assassins where I'm like, they're just not good early game. Bastet's really not that good early game. Especially when you're not poking correctly and you're not clearing the waves correctly. It's going to be very rough. So, Assassins-wise, you don't need to look for anything, any specific 1v1s. Obviously, the gods that can get away from cats or the gods that have immunities are going to be a little bit harder. The gods that can poke you harder than you can poke them, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's going to be like a Thor. Susano could be a little bit more difficult. But most of the time, you're going to be okay as long as you're poking with your 3 and your 2 and just make it out of that early game. And then for Hunters, you don't have too bad of matchups really against anybody at all. You're just chasing poking. It's super straightforward. Don't overcommit. The biggest thing with Bastet isn't your matchups. It's using your abilities properly and not overcommitting. Jumping into a fight, poking, and jumping right back out is fine. You don't need to sit there auto-attacking and running around doing nothing. It's okay to jump back out, let all your abilities reset, and then go back in after that. That is the playstyle you're looking for. Poke, and then commit after. No just direct commit unless you're one-shotting, which some games you'll get to a point where you're one-shotting. It'll With that being said, we covered the starter items, the relics, the items, the abilities, what Bastet's true playstyle is. She's really good. She does do a shit ton of damage. I think it's a little bit underrated just because there's so many strong CC assassins, and usually CC assassins are going to be stronger because their gank potential's higher. Their ability to control stuff in fights is more valuable than just having a pure damage assassin that the ult can be killed, and Wingblade can pretty much hard counter the ability to chase. So, that being said, hope this guide helped you guys out a little bit. I'll try to get some Bastet gameplay going. I haven't played her in a while. So if we can get some Bastet gameplay on YouTube, I will do that just for you guys so you can see it played a little bit, get a better understanding. I will see you all in the YouTube video tonight. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button if you like these guides. And I'll just keep producing as much as I can for you guys. See you later.